Most projects don't fail because of a bad spreadsheet. They fail because of people problems. So today we're going to build the ultimate people playbook, a super clear, actionable guide to help you master the trickiest part of any project.
Okay, let's dive right in with the big question. The title says Project Manager, and yeah, that seems obvious. But the really successful ones, they know there's a huge difference between managing the project and leading the team.
So let's break that down a bit. Think of it like this. Managing is the science of the project, right? It's all about organizing schedules, budgets, all that stuff. But leading? Well, leading is the art. It's about inspiring people, navigating tricky conversations, and weaving together everyone's unique expertise.
I love this phrase because it just nails it. It really captures that mindset shift we're talking about. You manage the Gantt charts and the tasks, sure, but you lead the human beings who actually bring all that work to life.
So, to help you get this right, we're going to build your very own people playbook. We'll kick off by figuring out your leadership style, then we'll get into structuring teamwork, and finally, we'll talk about managing partnerships. These are the core plays you absolutely need to have down.
All right, play number 1 is all about choosing your leadership style. And here's the key. This isn't about finding one style that defines you forever. Nope, it's about strategically picking the right approach for the right situation.
First up, we've got the autocratic style. This is your classic top-down approach. The leader makes the calls, gives clear, direct instructions. It's really all about command and control. Now, this is not your everyday go-to style. You save this for very specific moments where that kind of direct guidance is an absolute must, like when you're working with interns, or when a real crisis hits, or if there's just a huge knowledge gap on the team.
Okay, next up is the democratic style. And in this one, the leader is more of a facilitator. You're drawing on the whole team's collective brainpower, getting their input, and then you make the final call. Honestly, for most experienced project teams, this is going to be your bread and butter. When you've got a room full of experts with different skills, their input doesn't just lead to better decisions. It gets you way more buy-in from everybody. And finally, there's laissez-faire. This is the ultimate hands-off approach. You basically empower your team, you trust them 100%, and you let them run with it. You're there for support, not to give directions.
This is when you just get out of the way. Seriously, if you're leading a team of senior engineers or brilliant creatives who are the best at what they do, sometimes the most valuable thing you can do is just let them work their magic.
So, what happens when you don't have that formal title? What if you need to lead, but you don't have the official authority? Well, that's where you use what are called influence currencies. This is such a powerful idea. You need to think strategically about what other people value. For an engineer, maybe it's task-related, like getting them the right equipment. For a key stakeholder, it might be inspiration-related, showing them how their piece fits into the grand vision. Even something as simple as a thank you is a huge personal currency. This is how you lead when you're not technically the boss.
Okay, let's move on to our next play. This one's all about setting up systems that get rid of confusion and make sure everyone's on the same page. Because, when people are clear on what they're supposed to be doing, the project just moves so much faster.
And a fantastic tool for this is the Responsibility Assignment Matrix. You've probably heard it called a RASI chart. It's a simple little grid, but it's incredibly powerful for making it crystal clear who is doing what so tasks never fall through the cracks.
It just maps out who is responsible for doing the task, who is accountable for making sure it gets done right, who needs to be consulted along the way, and who just needs to be kept informed. And here's a huge pro tip. Always use roles, not people's names. People come and go, but the roles stay the same.
Another crucial structure you've got to get right is the meeting. You're mostly going to use two types: the super quick daily stand-up, which is big and fast-moving agile projects, and the more formal sit-down review, which you see a lot in traditional plan-heavy projects.
A daily stand-up has to be ruthlessly efficient. The rule is 15 minutes. That's it, no more. It's a quick pulse check, not a 2-hour problem-solving marathon.
Everyone on the team answers just 3 quick questions. What did I get done yesterday? What am I going to get done today? And what's getting in my way? Simple as that.
And it happens at one consistent time and place every single day. No invites, no rescheduling. It becomes this fixed ritual that just builds a natural rhythm and a sense of accountability right into the project.
You know, great project managers understand that their success isn't just about their core team. It also depends on how well they manage relationships with everyone outside the team. We're talking vendors, suppliers, contractors, the whole shebang.
And the big goal here is to move beyond those purely transactional contracts and build real partnerships. A partnership that's built on trust and shared goals. And when you have that, everything becomes more efficient and you get more value for everybody involved.
And you can actually see this whole dynamic play out in the kinds of contracts you choose. With a fixed-price contract, the seller takes on all the risk of cost overruns. But in a cost-plus model, boom, that risk shifts right over to you, the buyer. Understanding that fundamental trade-off is absolutely key to negotiating smarter.
All right, let's bring it all home and put the final touches on your playbook. This is really how you go from being just another manager to being a true leader.
So here they are, the essential plays. Number 1, choose your leadership style strategically. Number 2, structure the teamwork using tools like RACI charts and those super efficient meetings. And number 3, build real partnerships, not just transactional contracts. This is the heart of leading people effectively.
At the end of the day, every single play in this book, every single thing we've talked about, it all comes down to one thing: excellent communication. Mastering that human element, that is what separates the good project managers from the truly great ones. So, as you think about your next project, or maybe even the one you're working on right now, I want you to ask yourself, what's the first play you're going to put into practice? Are you going to run a better stand-up tomorrow? Are you going to try to build a real partnership with that vendor? That's your starting point.